Melanie, all this stuff you're hearing, all this talking about Star Wars, talking about Marvel. Please take it away.
Yeah, I think with what WGW was saying about them trying to get more of a female audience and all this, I think they're really going about things a completely wrong way. And also, you just can't force stuff, right? So you can't force more girls to like more action movies. You can't force more girls to like more comic book type stuff. And usually the girls who do like those kind of things have more tomboyish hobbies in general. And so they aren't watching to see themselves in it, right? So I like NFL football, or I like action movies, or if I like video games, I go into these hobbies knowing full well that I am not the main demographic of that. And I just enjoy sitting back and watching. I don't have to be catered to enjoy it. And I think if you really look at things and look at how, like, okay, well, with action figures, for example, why the female action figures aren't selling that well, but look at anime. When you have their figurines and their little statues, their little figures, the female characters sell great, but that's because the female characters that they are making, they're appealing to a female audience, but also to the male audience too. They find them attractive, they find them cute, or they just like the character. And that's one thing that I think is kind of odd whenever they kind of want to demonize like the male gaze or whatever. Like, how dare a man be attracted to a character, a woman, but they want to demonize men for just being attracted to femininity, like they're just objectifying women and only looking at them as objects and nothing more, when that is not even the case at all. When you look at characters like Lara Croft, you look at anime girls, all this kind of stuff. Like, yes, they can be attracted to these characters, men can, but it doesn't mean that they're only seeing them as something to be used. They also admire these characters a lot. They're buying action figures of them. They're buying the figurines for the animes, the female anime characters, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I just feel like here in the West, how things are, they've got things completely backwards, and figuring out with female characters, if you want to add more, they're doing it all in the wrong ways. It's not appealing to women and it's not appealing to men. It's just appealing to almost nobody except that tiny blue-haired gender studies degree person with no money.
I got to make a point off what Melanie made before I lose it. Melanie said that they want to condemn the male gaze, right? Which is a euphemism for that they want to make it sinful that men are attracted visually to femininity. Perfect point. But they're doing the opposite at the same time. So it's not just that men should be condemned for being attracted to femininity. It's also that women should be condemned for being attracted to successful men, because that is toxic masculinity. And therefore, they flatten it all out and say, you shouldn't be attracted to either one of these things that are successful.
Wait a second here. I'm confused. Wait. So in other words, they're doing this.
You're going to say that word again and make me have to say Giselle?
Giselle? No, but okay, we're explaining this. Jizzle, my brother.
God.
But no, what I'm trying to get to is, like, they're doing this because they're saying it's bad, but then aren't they also slandering the whole woke audience of, like, the LGBTQ who are attracted to females and attracted to masculine men at the same time? So aren't they doing the double negative?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
it doesn't make any
postmodern. They don't. Yeah, truth doesn't have to be consistent in postmodernism.
I'm sorry. I've had enough boards of wood. I've seen Brie Larson movies. I'm done.
Speaking of planks of wood, I brought this up for Mr. Tickle Trunk. Breaking news: females also like to see attractive females. Just like how males like seeing buff dudes, we all like idealistic humans. Yes, and thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for hanging out tonight. I know you had to run. One of my wonderful moderators, one of the first subscribers ever here on Valiant Renegades. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. And I mean, yeah, look.
I fear that, like with the Romans and the Greeks, they create all these beautiful statues, and we still marvel at them to this day. I'm afraid that in 20 years, we're just going to produce statues of awful-looking fat women and dad bods. And then, 200 years from now, people are going to look at that and be like, oh my God, what a horrible time to be alive.
No, Pro, you got it wrong.
Uh-oh.
In 100 years from now, no, it's not even that. You're just gonna take a blank piece of stone and put it on a pedestal, and
that's geode, and it talks to kids in inappropriate ways in Star Wars books.
Exactly. And then you're gonna have a tranny book reading in front of it.
Yep.
But like what Hey You Guys says here, always commenting on my videos. Professor Garlic. Yeah.
I
thank you.
love her. She is so cute. Yep.
Yes, she is.
She's beautiful.
Hey-o.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
and that is the new. So for those of you who remember the original Harry Potter movies, Professor Sprout, who was the herbology teacher, Professor Garlic is the one in Hogwarts Legacy. She's a beautiful redhead.
Yep.
And she's cute.
Those aren't
She is
allowed in
very
media anymore. Somebody better call them and let them know.
No. So, and for those of you who don't know, Hogwarts Legacy takes place in the mid to latter part of the 19th century. So it's way before the Harry Potter storyline, way before Voldemort, way before Dumbledore, all that kind of stuff.
And she's
So-
actually a pleasant character. Like she doesn't have a chip on her shoulder at all times, which I feel like they do that with a lot of female characters nowadays, where it's just like insufferable. Anything Brie Larson plays, for example, it's just you can't. They get mad at people not liking these female characters that much. Well, make them good. Make them actually likable.
Well, here's the problem, Melanie, and I want to hear your opinion on this one. Do you feel like that there is this? I'm trying to think of a way to say this. Does Hollywood have a completely misinterpreted view of how to make strong women, in the sense that it seems to me, as a casual observer, especially of modern Hollywood, because most of it sucks, does it seem like they all think that we have to make a strong woman by making her a total bitch to everybody? Is that, because to me it seems like every time it's like, well, it's a strong woman. I'm like, no, it's just a complete bitch.
Right.
It's like,
that is what they do. But I feel like even in that case, there is still a way to do it where you can still balance it, kind of, because if you look at classic Lara Croft, like, man, she was a jerk sometimes, but then at other times she was kind of a flirt. Like, so she has her she had different elements to her personality, so she could be really mean when the time called for it, but she also was spunky and sassy and fun, and people like that about her. So I think that there's a way to do it. If you want to give a character kind of like, I think one of the problems with it, though, is that they want to paint these female characters as like, all perfect in every way, almost. So we have to make her perfect. She has to
Mary
be good.
Sue,
Yeah,
right?
they want to make her
Rey
a Mary Sue, but then
Skywalker.
they want to make her a jerk. And so it's like, it just doesn't merge together well at all. Or they feel like in order for a woman to be like this strong character, she has to be more like a man. They do that as well. And they're just so out of touch.
They
really
had a
are.
strong character with Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, and you can see how they handled that.
Exactly.
Strong
She
women
was
actually
amazing.
intimidate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
It's like they're taking them and turning them into that one woman that's on those reality shows that's just inconceivably annoying, always hammered and always throwing themselves like, well, why don't you want me? Well, first of all, the mustache, your attitude, and your voice. Done.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point where, like, it's comedically bad.
Mhm.
Like, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, boy, if they remade Predator today, the little Filipino girl would be dragging Arnold Schwarzenegger out of the jungle with one hand. You know, it'd be that kind of thing.
Right.
It'd be like,
Please take me to the chopper.
take me to
I'm
the
too
chopper
weak.
now.
Do it now.
I have too much toxic masculinity.
I mean,
Ah.
it would be that kind of, and it's like, okay, women can be strong and can be heroic and all this kind of stuff, but I'm talking about to the point where they're making these things so ridiculous,
Right.
that every time I'm watching a 100-pound
Mm,
woman take down a 300-pound man with
right.
physical force. I've done martial arts a lot of years. Like, that just doesn't work. I mean,
You've not watched enough WNBA. You've clearly
my
been watching the
God.
wrong female
That's right.
sports.
People
I'm
watch
smarting-
WNBA?
no.
I didn't think so.
No.
Just for the
It-
fundamentals.
They only have TV contracts because of the NBA. They forced them into the contracts when they signed with ESPN and TNT. So, but no, I mean, it's like I'm going up against female competitors sparring and competition before. They're fast. They can score points. They can beat you. But in an actual physical fight, I'm like, I look at some of the stuff in the movies and I'm like, this is just dumb.
Yeah.
And I mean, do they not? What are we actually teaching? And it's like, women can be pretty, they can be feminine and still be strong and have good
Mhm.
characters. Crazy thing, I've got 2 teenage daughters, almost 16 and 18 years old now. Both of them love looking like girls. Both of them
Yeah.
want to dress up. They want to look pretty. They want to do their makeup. They want to do.
Mhm.
It's not like we sat there and trained them to do this. Like this was some.
Yeah, it's natural.
That's a natural thing. I don't understand where Hollywood hates this about women.
Mhm.
I have a question about this because I don't wear makeup, but in a way, how long do you think it will take before the makeup lines and companies start going after Hollywood for ruining what people use to invest in makeup to look pretty? Women want to look pretty. They'll get the makeup. They'll get the kits. And now you're telling me it's okay to be lazy, 600 pounds, and drive around on a forklift screaming, "Hey, baby."
Well, see, the idea though is to get the men to wear the makeup, so it's all okay. It evens out.
Haven't they
So what-
started advertising makeup to men now?
Was it-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah, and there are some male influencers who do
I
in the
think my
makeup
stubble
space,
would
but
my stubble would mess up with the makeup. I can't
So,
imagine.
Are you
that
saying I
working.
can go to Home Depot, grab a crap ton of spray paint, and pass it off as body positive makeup?
See, that is how men think about. That's how real men think about makeup. That's exactly right. All right, let's talk about Home Depot and Lowe's. How are we going to fix this?
well,
I
the
can
thing is,
spackle that.
too,
I
is
can
like
spackle that kid.
even be like if you're looking at the makeup industry and stuff like that, Ulta got a lot of backlash because they had that Dylan Mulvaney.
That's what it was Ulta.
Yeah,
that did it.
talk
Yeah.
about what it's like girlhood. Talking about girlhood, it's like they're erasing women in a lot of ways, and that's frustrating to see too because it's just like, let's be honest. Who's keeping Ulta alive and afloat? It's women. We're not going to want to sit there and watch a dude tell us what girlhood is like.
Correct. Why? I don't understand it, and it's bizarre to me. I mean, and it's funny because my kids, my daughters, they see that kind of stuff and they roll their eyes at it, and it's just, it's not. I don't know what society's thinking.
What they like to do is they like to create these easy categories. So they want to if you're white, they want to put you in the white box, and everybody who's white is the same. And if you're black, you're going to be in the black box, and you think the same. And so therefore, if you transition to being a girl, let's say,
Careful.
then you can tell everybody exactly what it's like to be a girl within just a couple of days. You can be like,
Yeah.
oh, let me tell you about girlness. This is so, yeah.
Yeah.
Shrevels, I'm going to give you props for that Monty Python reference. I know exactly what that is. I'm going to save that. I will do the song later as we close the show out.
If you're saying if I buy like a prosthetic uterus, I can start talking about female problems.
Where are you
Yes.
going to buy
I mean,
a prosthetic
you don't even
uterus?
have to go that far. All you gotta do is put a little makeup on, put lipstick on, and call yourself a woman. That's all you gotta do these days. And they think like, because that's
Challenge
there you
accepted.
go. I mean,
am
that's
now ready to go.
that's what happened with Dylan Mulvaney. Like, not even transitioned for that long. And then okay, now you're gonna tell us what girlhood is like. Okay.
Well, you remember at the beginning of the internet age, everybody was scrambling to get all of the top URLs and get those in their possession so then they could sell them. I've started doing this now, but with the transitioning culture. So I know that eventually that they're going to create an artificial womb that then trans people can use. And so I have already trademarked the name Woomba, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for when they need Woomba.
Don't you think the people that create Haggis might have a problem with that?
I thought you were going to start. I thought you were going to start a URL extension that was like .trans or something like that. So,
I'm afraid of where that might lead me in this world.
Let's call it the Hogwarts Womb.com.
oh my Lord.
Renegade Online.